Hi everybody! So for today's craft, we're gonna make something that I always enjoy making it. I think it's kind of fun, and you can even make one at home, and you can wear it at home. We're gonna make a headband, but not just any headband. It's gonna be an under the sea headband. So I'm talking starfish, I'm talking seashells, dolphins, all different animals that you might find in the ocean. And just because I'm using the animals that I have, you can make other animals too, by all means. It's your ocean, right? It's your headband. So make whatever you want with it. I think it'll be really fun. So for today's craft, what I'm using is a piece of paper, and I'm using this dark blue paper, but I folded it in half horizontally, or hot dog style, right? You can do hot dog sometimes, or hamburger. I did hot dog style. And I drew waves on the top because that's going to be the top of the headband. And I also really love to paint it. If you have watercolors or glitter paint and regular paint that you can just mix along to make the water look like it's shimmering, it looks really great. I don't have any with me myself, and I also thought I wanted to make the video in case you don't have some at home either. You're not alone. I'm with you. So I am just going to leave it dark blue today. And let me show you the animals that I have for my under the sea craft. You know what animal this is? That's right. It's a seahorse. But remember, is it a type of horse? Nah, it's a fish. Isn't that funny? And then I have a seashell. And it's fun always too to paint that gold. That would also look really nice. And then we've learned about this animal too. The mammal that holds its breath when it goes underwater. That's right. It's a dolphin. And then who doesn't love a classic little fish, huh? Maybe it's a slippery fish. We know those two, huh? And last but not least, that's right. It is the shape of a star, huh? But this, for our craft, is actually going to be a starfish, or also known as a sea star, right? Because it's not technically a fish, but anyways. So we're going to use those two attached to our underwater headband. So like I said before, I would love to paint this, and if you do paint it, it's going to take a little bit longer to create it, but that's okay. So, you ready? Let's begin. Oh, and then of course what we need to use for our crafts. I have the paper stuff, but you'll need some scissors to be able to cut out the waves, and you'll need some glue, and I also have some tape, because we're going to use the tape to close the headband to make sure it sticks onto your noggin, right? I'm not going to use staples because I don't want it to get caught in anybody's hair. But, you know, if you have hot glue at home, you can use your guardian can use the hot glue, right? They can use the hot glue to put on and then let it dry, and then you can try it out. All right? So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to take my scissors. Remember, do we use scissors to cut our hair? No. Do we use scissors to cut our clothes? I like this shirt too much. Do we use our hair to cut, or our hair? Do we use our scissors to cut the stuff, anything around you, really? No, we only use scissors to cut. That's right, paper. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. Remember, thumb in the small hole, fingers in the large. Am I holding the scissors safely this way? Is this how we cut? Right. My wrist is upside down, so I'm going to turn it high to the sky. Now, I folded my paper in half. I'm going to show you, right? I folded it and matched the sides right here. And then I creased it down, right? I pressed it down, and I drew the lines. So I added the waves to the sides that's attached, right? I didn't attach it on this side because... or I didn't draw it on this side because it's easier to cut when it's all on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors, and I'm going to cut both sides together. I'm using these scissors that are actually kind of fun, right? They give a nice little element to it. And maybe it gives it more texture to make it look like the waves are splashing around. You can use textured scissors, or you can use regular scissors, right, with just the sharp edge. But see how I'm holding the paper like this? Because if I hold one side of it, then I'm not going to be cutting one half, and I want to make sure I'm cutting both sides, or both halves together, right? So I hold it like so, making sure I'm holding both sides, and I go out, in. There we go, there are my waves. Sweet. So remember, scraps, just make sure you recycle them. Okay, now we have 2 sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these flat and I'm going to glue them side by side like so. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right along here, just enough to make sure it'll stick, right? Then I take this half and I'm going to press them together. I'll show you, like so. And then I'm going to hold them down, try to make it flat and even, right? I'm going to hold it down. And it should look a little something like this. I'll hold it back so you can see a lot of it. Right? So you see how they're connected now with the glue? Perfect. So this is my headband. Now, what I'm going to, you know what I realized we don't do? What's the first thing we always do anytime we make a craft? Silly me. We need to write our name. So actually that's fine, because what we can do is we have our paper, our long paper, where I wrote the date. I'm going to put my name too. So go ahead and write your name. I'm going to write mine, and then when we are done, we can continue. If you need to pause it or anything, by all means, go ahead. Okay, great. So now we wrote our name. We have our long headband, because what we're going to do is go like this at the end. I know. It looks pretty, it's pretty fun. You'll see. So flip your side over that has your name to the blank side. Now here's the fun part. You can use all the different animals you have and glue them wherever you want. It's your ocean, right? It's up to you. So what I'm gonna do, I have a couple animals that I'm actually gonna cut out, and then I have a couple animals where I can like add some designs and stuff if I want to. So why don't we go ahead and start by cutting out the 2 animals that need to be cut out, right? Because that way you can tell what they are. Ready? Same deal with the scissors. Make sure you're just using them safely, right? And take your time, right? What do we always say? No rush, no worries. Because we want to be proud of the work we're making. And if we rush it too much sometimes, we can make a mistake. And mistakes always happen. Like, that's part of life. However, we should just make sure that we are proud of our work. There's my starfish. I'm actually going to draw some... Let's draw some dots on it. You can draw whatever you want in yours. I'm just adding some lines. Because you know how on the back of a starfish or sea star they can have that rough texture? Kind of want to give it a little bit of texture. So there's my starfish, my sea star. Now get rid of these pieces. And then I'm going to cut out my slippery fish. Alright, and take your time. I'm going to add, on my fish, I'm going to make a smiley face too. And you can add whatever you want to yours. Perfect. There's our little fish. I'm going to make a little eye. I'm going to do a side profile. Remember, a side profile is like this, right? So it looks like it only has 1 eye, but I do know that fish have how many eyes? That's right, they have 2 eyes. And I even added a little fin. Kind of looks like a goldfish, doesn't it? Like the snack that's some miles back. I love goldfish. Okay, now let's get to gluing. I'm only going to use a little bit. And you can make it, if you want to make them fit on the whole, like if you want to make them hang off a little bit, that's fine too. Just be aware of it in your eyes or something, right? Like if you want to make your shell hanging off or on, up to you. So I'm going to start. I'm going to glue my sea star right here. Start. Why not? And then I'm going to add my, which one should I do next? Let's do our seahorse. Now the seahorse is pretty long, so actually I'm even going to make it go diagonally. And it's still hanging off the paper. Check it out. Even though it's still on a little off the paper, it still fits well. All right, next up, our little fish. And like I said, if you want to add more animals to yours, go for it. You can even draw them on a piece of paper and then cut them out, or you can just cut them out, right? You can do whatever you want. Let's put my little fish right here. And you can put yours wherever you'd like, right? You don't have to follow mine. I'm just making it to show you what to do. and then our dolphin. Where do we put the dolphin? How about over here, just hanging in the water? And then last but not least, our shell. So mine looks a little something like this. And it's really fun to be able to add whichever animals, and you can draw smiley faces if they want to be happy animals, and all different things. I even added a shell, right? You can add seaweed, you can add the sea